money fear is real and how you change it. And today, so excited, we're going to talk about feminine money superpowers. This is the community superpower. So this is the third superpower we're going through. And together we go further, faster, and funner. How about that? So what does community mean? Well, if you break down the word, it means common unity, right? So we're all in this together, right? So we're going to go over here to my notes. Here we go. So how important is community? Well, it's super important for us. It's part of our basic human needs. And as women, we're actually wired to be in community. Our brains are wired to be in connection, in community, collaborating with other people. And when we're not doing that, that's when we have glitches. We certainly get money blocks by not doing that too, when we try to do things by ourselves. So, you know, especially as entrepreneurs, we go out and we try to do things all by ourselves or mostly by ourselves. And it could be so much easier to do and faster and funner together. And that's how we also can create greater wealth and have a bigger impact is together. You know, you've heard the expression, all boats rise with the tide. Absolutely. The tide being the unifying force of our communities, right? So sharing is caring, and that's what happens in communities. There's a lot of sharing. We also can work together, and we can have a common goal or have different goals, but yet still support each other in that. So when we're in community, it can also feel like playing. You know, have you ever seen two dogs where one dog goes down and he's like this? And then that's the play sign. And so the other dog or dogs decide, do they want to play or not play? So do they want to be in this community or not? And a community can be any size. I have some friends, we are in community, and we are in a community of two sometimes. Welcome, Debbie. She's a community superpower. Yes, the introverts, even introverts are wired for community. You got it. That's right. They certainly are. So I love you, Debbie. She says, without community, the extroverts starve emotionally and psychologically. Yeah, they do. So I like to think of this as it takes a village, be a villager. And what does that mean? That means we each have our part to play. It's like we're in this big village, or even if you want to make it simpler, we're all in a movie together. And in the movie, we all have our parts to play. So if we're making a movie and all there is a leading woman or a leading man, and there's no director or producer or supporting actors or the people, the camera people or the script people, if there's none of that, then it's going to be quite challenging to make a movie. And it could be such a better movie if it was all done together. So we all have our parts to play. And when we play our part, others can play their parts. That is a gem right there. Think about that for a minute. People are waiting for you to play your part so they can play their part, right? And your clients, you need to stop robbing your clients of what they need, which is your gifts that you have to offer them. That is the key to their lock, to unlock them. Let's get busy and give them the keys. So without community, which is where a lot of us are, or sometimes we have one foot in a community and one foot out, or sometimes we have a community, sometimes we don't. So without it, it's pretty lonely, it's isolating. This is a scarcity mentality and mindset. It can be really scary. This is the place where we believe that we have to do it all by ourselves. And sometimes we even have the belief that we think it's a sign of weakness to seek help from other people, which it just really couldn't be further from the truth. Or sometimes we feel stupid or we feel like a failure if we ask for help. I used to have that one, don't have that anymore. And so we really miss out on the joys of life. Like part of the joy is really connecting with other people and connecting deeply and meaningfully, not just a hi, how you doing? I mean, that's nice too, but it's nicer to really get into that intimate relationship, one where there's giving and receiving. It's a two-way street. And community really is a priceless resource for us and for everybody else. It's a win, 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 win. Everybody's winning in community. So this is in a community, this is where you get connection, you get support, you share experiences, you share your challenges. People are there to support you through the highs and the lows. They're there to celebrate with you when you have a win. They've got your back if you're having an issue or a challenge. They can provide a resource for you, leveraging resources. I call it leveraging rich resources. So resources are anything, many things, but like money, tools, systems, people, knowledge, accountability, all kinds of things can be considered resources. And when we come together as a community and we pool those resources, we have access to so much more. And we can also just ask questions. Like another part of community is knowledge. You get access to knowledge. So somebody in the group, you can say, oh, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you recommend? Or, who do you know? You can get an introduction to someone. And even deeper in community is safety and security. Yeah, that is the baseline of all communities. Because if you think about it, community, back in the caveman and cavewoman days, you had to be in groups to survive. If you were not in a group, you were dead. Pretty much how that happened. Because we needed different skill sets from different people. And, in order to do the jobs, like there were hunters, there were people who were the chefs, right? There were people who skinned the animals. There were babysitters. There were medicine men, medicine women. Like everybody had their role, and together they function as a unit, and so much more gets done. But more importantly, we all get to stay alive. So somebody's even going and getting water, for heaven's sakes. Somebody might be a specialist in building the thatched huts. Or somebody's a specialist in building the weapons. Like there's all kinds of things. So when you think about community more from that aspect, boom, it opens up so much, right? A lot of people just think like, oh, I have to be around these people or those people, or so-and-so is going to like this. They're not going to like this. What am I going to say? Like, oh my God, just wah, 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 wah. It's time to let that go and really tap into the power of a community, right? Welcome, Ellen. I'm an introvert, often mistaken for an extrovert. Yes, I get that. That's how I am too. Who's having a pretty awesome time with all of this #gold. Other people are waiting for me to use their gifts. You bet they are. And Debbie's sharing, with community, we have access to safety, security, knowledge, resources. Alone sucks. That's right. You don't want to be alone anymore. As soon as we get done with this, you're going to be calling your friends. You're going to go, hey, what's going on? Let's get on a Facebook Live. Let's get on a Zoom call. Let's get on a just a phone call, whatever, any way to connect, right? Oh, there's so many priceless resources and benefits of being in community. You also get valuable relationships. Oh my gosh, some of my best relationships have come out of being in community. When you go through something together, when you share an experience together, or somebody really helps you or you really help them, you just really feel like connected, and you feel like you have this deep sense of belonging, right? So go ahead and type in the comments for you, What have you been doing in community? What kind of communities do you have? That's a good question. There's all kinds of communities. Of course, the family can be a community. Friends can be a community. Business groups can be a community. Speaking groups, charitable groups, where you get together, like the Rotary Club or the Lions Club. There can also be common interest groups, like yoga groups, like let's go hiking groups, all kinds of those. So I'd love to hear from you folks. What is it? What types of groups do you belong to? And then after we get that, let's ask the next question. How connected have you been to the group? Have you been a good member? Like, are you doing your part or not? And doing your part is also receiving. We talked about that yesterday. If you missed out on yesterday's call, you want to go back and listen to that for sure. That is receiving on steroids. All right, Debbie's saying, I've been supporting friends and business associates online by showing up. You have, Debbie. I have seen you. I have witnessed that. You are incredible community member. Absolutely. And I've been investing in myself by participating in some online training. Absolutely. That's great. Fantastic. Why do you think so many people who have online programs have Facebook groups? Hello? It's to create that sense of safety and security and the power in numbers, the safety in numbers, right? Who doesn't feel good about that except somebody who might have been traumatized in groups? That's the only people who really don't feel good in groups, right? So, side note on that, if a person has been traumatized in groups, the best type of therapy, well, I shouldn't say best, one of the most powerful types of therapy is to get some healing in a group, right? Or get some individual healing and then go back into a group, and they are so, so different. And I know that because that's what happened to me. I used to just hate being in groups. Oh my God, you could not get me to be in a group. I hated that. I hated the chit chat. I hated what I thought was false people. I thought they were just being nice because they wanted something from me. I wasn't feeling really good about myself. And I wasn't really into this giving and receiving. I was a great giver. And when I went into communities, I gave, but I never received. It's not that people weren't trying to give to me. It's that I blocked the receiving. I was like, oh, no, good. I'm good over here in the corner with my water and my crackers. I don't need anything else. I'm going to give you any steaks that come in. I'm just going to give those to you because obviously, you need those more than I do, right? Okay. Oh, Nancy's saying book club, charitable groups, workout groups. Yeah, that's a good one. Workout groups. Art groups. Yes. I used to belong to an art guild when I lived in New Jersey. Oh my God. It was one of my favorite groups. We would just get together and chit chat and create art together, put on some nice music. We'd be in this big studio. Oh my God, did that feed my soul, right? Ellen, 3 groups, boyfriend and step kids, family of 6. Yes, you have your own community in your home, Ellen. Well, not everybody has that, but you do. All here at home. Yeah. Second group, my friends on LinkedIn. Third group, me plus Olympia Hostler. I love that. Yes. I was just speaking to Ann Bennett yesterday, and she and I speak a lot, and Ellen and I do as well. But out of my mouth came, I love being in a community of 2 with you, Ann, because that's what we are. We're such a great community together. And I feel that with Ellen. I feel that with Debbie. Like I feel that with different people. So sometimes a community can be 2 people. It doesn't have to be this big group. And when you're in a big group of a community, there's no need to have to know everybody. I mean, certainly, if you're in it long enough, you're going to meet other people. But, you find the people who you gravitate toward, who have a resonance and a synergy with you. And those are the ones you tend to hang out with the most, or really maybe work with. Maybe you form a power partnership. I'm talking about business, or a referral arrangement relationship with that. It could be anything. So, what has been your experience in communities? We're going to rate that from 0 to 10. 10 is awesome. Oh my God, I never want to be without a community. I am my best in a community. 0 or 1 would be, I really don't like them. I really don't. No, I'm not interested. No, I say no to groups. Go ahead and put that in the comments for us. Good. And today we are coming to you live from, I'm on Be Live today instead of my phone, because my silly phone, my iPhone, has tapped out on memory. And I keep deleting things to make more space, and it keeps saying I have the same space. So I cannot figure out how to free up space. So I have switched over here quite boldly to Be Live. And right now, Ellen Melcomore, I am sending you a link via email, because what I would like to do, because we can do this on Be Live, this is really cool. We can have someone come on with me, and I can speak and they can speak. So we can speak together. It's almost like a Zoom call, right? I don't know if you've ever seen this, but Ellen, I just sent that to you in your email. I responded to the email you sent me earlier. Yeah, what is Be Live? It's BELIVE.TV. So it's kind of like a Zoom. It's specifically made to have access to Facebook Lives, might be LinkedIn Lives too, I don't know, or YouTube Lives. I don't really know about that. But for definitely for Facebook Lives, because then you can bring guests in. Like you can see up here in the corner, I have my logo. I have these little icons here. Like it's just a so much nicer user interface, and you can use your computer. You don't have to use your phone, although if you want to, you can use your phone. So Ellen, I just sent you a link. Will you go ahead and click on that link? Actually, here we go. We're going to have some fun. Yay, I'm not freezing today. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Yeah, maybe that's a difference too, because I'm not on my phone. I'm on my computer. I'm going to see if I can put this link in so we can all get on and have a chat. Shoot. Let me get the link. Share screen. I am new to this, so please share screen. Ha ha ha. Okay. All right, Debbie, we'll put you on tomorrow. Let's see. Nancy, do you want to come on? I can send you this link, copy this link. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going over here to Facebook. I'm going to message you, Facebook message you, Nancy. Nancy Buckingham. There we are. Sending you the link in your Facebook chat or Facebook message. Ellen, I'm sending you yours. I don't know where you are. Ellen Melcomore. I'm also Facebooking you so that you have that with the message. Such a cool system. Okay, so nobody's coming yet. Okay, so back to our subject. We're talking about community. So I'm going to talk to you and share with you a community that I was a part of in New Jersey called the Sister Goddesses. This was such a great group. Everyone on this call would love this group. So it was led by my friend Marcel, and it was a community of support and sharing and giving and receiving, everything I've talked about. It was not a business group. Oh, Nancy's coming on. Yay. And And so what we did was we would just get together and share things. Marcel would teach us things, or other people in the group would teach things to us. We would do meditations. We would do some yoga. Oh my God, I love that group. All right, Nancy, I'm going to add you in. So you'll see a counter.
Wait, okay.
Hi, Nancy. We're looking down at your
there.
And so what we did was we would just
Not good.
Not good. Okay, you might want to turn your volume down over
Turn
there.
that one off.
We're getting a
Okay.
little feedback. Okay. Welcome, Nancy,
Hi.
with your dog in the background.
Really? Oh, there they are.
Well, this is so great. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, it took a little bit there.
Yeah, good. So let's talk about community. What
Okay.
communities have you been in that have been awesome or not so awesome?
I've been in travel groups, which are really female travel groups, which really feed your soul to travel all over the world with a great group of women who they roll with the punches. That's been really great. I've been in several different book clubs, and that's been interesting because I enjoy the book club part of it, but one of the things that, because my talents are in web design and graphics, people tend to count on me to be the one to send out the emails and the historian of the group. And I find that daunting because I see other people come in and they go, oh, well, you know, I can see that they can do it. And then the group then exhausts me. So I'm like, I enjoy the book club, but I don't enjoy all this other stuff I'm being tasked to do for the club. So I have found that there's I have to have a balance. I have to stand up for myself, like you've been preaching, in particular, and say, you know, hey, I'm not going to do all that, or we don't need that. You know, if you want to do it, you do it.
Right. Exactly. Because there are people in groups who, like I said, are more of the givers. There are more of the receivers, which sometimes can cross over into that land of taking, you know. So we just need to watch out for that when we're there and set boundaries when there is a boundary that we need to set up to protect ourselves, but then also to not just protection, but, you know, to just enjoy a relationship there. Because when you're in a community, it's also a good idea to check in with yourself and say, why am I here? Like, even before you go in, or if they're having a particular meeting. I do this every time I go to particularly my ladies group meetings. I'll go, okay, what is my intention for today? Like, what am I here for? And usually in those situations, in a business meeting, I'm here to meet potential clients. Like, that's a very common one. And I put a number on that, whatever that is. I want to meet 3 potential, amazing, awesome clients that are my perfect clients that are going to love me, value me, pay me, you know, what I'm worth. You know, we're not going to have any price haggling, any of that. Right. So not having it. One of my favorite stories. Oh my God. I'm so glad you're here with me, Nancy. Because I can see you and we can interact. So I have a great story. When I was in New York, and this was about my lasting pain relief center business, where we help people to get out of chronic pain. So our rates, they're not super high, but they're not low either. But they are on the higher end because the women who work for me there, who do the work, are specialists. They've had years of training. They're in their 50s, their 60s. They are highly qualified. You know, you're not getting somebody just right out of school. So this one person called me and was complaining about the rate. Like, hadn't even come in yet. Just talked to me, asked me some questions. I told him what's going on. You know, here's what you get. Here's what we do. We are known for our success. That's why we're so popular. And he goes, oh, that's great. That's great. What's your price? And I told him the price. And he goes, I can go to Chinatown and get a massage for $40. And I said, then why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me? And he goes, because you guys are the specialists. And I said, that's right. And our price is this. And he goes, well, can't you come down off of that? And I'm like, no, the price is the price, and this is what it is. And if you want our services, which are going to do a hell of a lot more for you than just a regular fluff and buff, as I call them. If you want some therapy, this is where you need to go. And this is the thing. And I said, how many times have you paid $40 and not gotten what you needed, right? You're no better off than where you were when you started, let's say 20 times, 50 times, 100 times. I don't know how many years you've been going for your $40 fluff and buffs. But add that up. And then when you add up the few times that you're going to need to come see us, and you're actually going to get better, you're not like eating Chinese food where you're hungry again in an hour. You need another massage because it didn't really work. Then you've actually saved money by coming to us. So that's kind of a nice boundary I put up. Do you have a boundary story, Nancy?
Oh, oh man.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. You can marinate on it.
Well, let's, I have an art group it's a charitable organization I've been involved with for a very long time. And they were asking too much of me. I was really doing everything. And so I'm not in that, then you're not making any money. You're not focused on your job and making money. It's just a huge distraction. And I had to put up a boundary and say, this is all I can do for you guys. I'm not going to run the entire, events. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to show up at the last minute, the last possible minute, do my job, be the auctioneer or do a piece of art or whatever it is, or make a flyer, but I'm not going to be the be all person. And then when I get in that situation, I get really angry. And I'm flustered and I'm running around the event and doing everything and I'm mad at everybody. And then at the next meeting, I'm mad again. And I had to stop that. I had to stop it. I just had to put a boundary and stop it.
Great. Good for you.
And I'm still a member of the group and they still love me. So it worked.
Exactly. Right. It's all about clear communication. Yeah. That's not working for me. I cannot do that. No. Trying to think of another. I just had another community story for you. This goes back to my days when I was getting my master's degree. So one thing I hated in school was when they put us in groups, because I'm an overachiever. I am most likely the smartest person in the class, and I didn't need any stinking people on my team. Like, they're slowing me down. I don't want to listen to what they have to say, because what I'm going to say is going to be better, and they may or not believe that. And then I have to micromanage them, and we have to spend all this time talking. And what's the point of that when I could have had it done? So every time we would have one of these flipping groups, I would talk to the teacher and I'd go, I want to be my own group. Like, I don't want this group thing. And he's like, you have to learn how to work in a group. And I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't. So this is how it would go. My whole schooling experience. So, and every time without fail, I got in a group, who would get nominated the leader? I mean, they would see that I was a leader and they'd go, oh, let's have you lead. And I actually said yes, because I knew that if some other moron was leading, it would drive me even more bananas. So I'd go, okay, I will be the leader. Here's what we do. Divide it up. Boop, 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 boop. Come back when you're done. Like, that's how I did it. So I had this one group in my MBA. This was the worst one ever. I was getting straight A's in my MBA program, and I wanted to keep it that way. So I'm in this marketing class. I'm not going to say exactly who it was. Let's just say it was 3 guys, because it was 3 guys, right? And they were known to me as butt sliders, right? They're just like slick talkers, butt sliders, doing the least amount possible. And I get paired up with these jokesters. And I'm like, ugh. So I'm like, all right. All right. And I tried to get out of it. The teacher's like, no, you have to deal with it. This is a real life thing. And I'm like, no, it's not a real life thing, because if this was a real life thing, I would say no, I would not work with these people. I would choose other people to be on my team. He's like, okay, deal with it. So dealing with it meant I tried to lead them. They were supposed to do their parts. One of them did their part. The other 2 didn't. I did one of the other person's parts, but I didn't have enough time to do the second person's part in addition to my part and being the leader. And when it came in, it was okay. I think I got a B on it, which I was pissed because I only accept A's in my world. So, but it wasn't me. It was these jokesters. And so the teacher is commenting how great the piece is that moron number 1 did, which I did. He's commenting how great that was. And I said, yeah, I did that. And he goes, no, so-and-so did that. I'm like, no, they didn't. I did it for them because they wouldn't do it. And I told you that was going to happen. And he's like, well, what about person number 2? They didn't turn their work in. I'm like, yeah. And I told you that was going to happen too. And he's like, well, you were the leader. And I'm like, okay, you can't get blood out of a turnip, right? So I tell this anecdotally because it's really, that can be a bad experience in a community. And then when I went on into working in my corporate world, I became a leader as fast as humanly possible because I just couldn't bear to be in a group with a leader who was either a moron or didn't have leadership skills or person skills. And I'm like, okay. So once that happened, which happened really quickly, then things were good. Things were good. and my boss would always comment to me, this is at my second to the last job. He would comment, why do these people love you so much? How do you get so much work out of them? And I'm like, well, I treat them like people. I treat them nicely. I empower them. I let them, have some autonomy. I let them have some creative license. I just give them guidelines and then they come back and it's done. And it's like, if they have questions, I help them out. He's like, that doesn't work. I'm like, it does, because that's what you're asking me about. So
I found that I did a little volunteering for a large scale charitable group. And there was a lot of high powered people in that particular group. And, they're all doers and shakers. And that really helped my, just being able to do and shake also. And you were getting equal it was really a positive experience. I felt like we were doing something. We were actually accomplishing something because it wasn't just one man, a one-man show.
Right.
Or woman, sorry.
Either one. One person. Doesn't matter.
I count on my group of friends now that they're fairly new friends, but in the scope of things. But we talk about experiences and new and what's coming up, and instead of people, and it's a genuinely good friendship. We talk about meditation, and we talk about how to feel better, and it's a positive experience. There's wine involved, but
well, that can help.
You got to have something.
Right. It's an accessory.
It's an accessory.
It's a tool. I love it.
Definitely a tool.
It's a tool. Well, tools are great to have. So Nancy and I, how long have we known each other?
It's been a while. Yeah. And we met in a group.
We did. We met in a group, a ladies group in Stockton, a networking group, and then we became really good friends. And we were selling products wholesale to the retail market. And so we traveled around the country together, and we were a community of two.
I remember sleeping on your cousin's couch.
Yep.
In New Jersey.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's right. We had such a great time. Now, it was a lot of work, and I'm glad that part of my life is over. How about you?
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
I remember you ordering container loads of glass from China.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember flying home on a flight from a trade show, and this gentleman asked me how did the show go for me, and he said, honey, if you're not knocking yourself off in China, you're never going to get anywhere. And and I said, okay, this is not what I wanted to do, but I kept my all original line and then started knocking my own self off. And I took a stranger's advice on an airplane. I guess he was part of my community. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He was. And there's these little, I like to call them angels. These little angels, they come into our life and they have these little things like that to say, and boom, 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 boom. And then, you listen to them or you don't.
Yeah.
I had a little angel story. When I was in corporate America, I had, let's set the scene. I was in my mid-30s, and, the world was on fire for me. So was my hair, so to speak. I never got to sleep. But I had hired this guy who was 69 years old. To me, ancient. Not so, it doesn't seem ancient anymore because I'm closer to that than not. But back in the day, that seemed ancient to me. But he was very youthful and incredibly brilliant man. He was a physicist and an engineer with a PhD. So I hired him because I like to work with people who are smarter than I am and know things that I don't know. So his name was Jack, and, very engineer, but he had some people skills, which was nice. I appreciated that. And so one day he came into my office and he sat down and he said, Olympia, you're not supposed to be here. And I'm like, what? Am I late for a meeting? Like, did I miss a meeting? What's going on? And he goes, no, you are meant for different, better, bigger things than this. You should not be here. And I think you know that. When are you leaving? And I'm like, Jack, why are you talking to me like this? Like, this was like, wow. But that was exactly what I needed to hear. Now, I was already thinking that, but to hear that from an outside person, like we talked about it 2 days ago, my intuition was telling me that, but I was overriding it. I'm like, no. This is great right here. I could warm this chair and I'll be a multimillionaire by the time I'm 60. I might be dead or I might be stressed out, but I'll be a multimillionaire. That was kind of the thing I was thinking about. And then he walks in, you shouldn't be here. I'm like, I said, Jack, are you okay? And he goes, yeah, I just needed to tell you that. And he stood up and he walked away and we never spoke about it again. So those little angels, they come in. And so he was part of my community. And that was a community in a work environment, right?
Right.
So I was very happy to have him. All right. So we could chat forever.
Oh,
we're going to go on, though, to one exercise for us. So, okay, I have it here. So, Nancy, we are going to, as soon as I can figure this out, I'm going to take you off of being on the screen with me. Okay. So you're going to go back.
Log in again.
You're going to go back. Oh, you got to log in again? Okay, I'll give you a moment then. Okay, so I'm going to take you off of the screen.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we're going to give Nancy a moment to come back in. Ellen, are you still there? I know Debbie's still there. We're going to do an exercise that's going to be knock your socks off for community. So I can't see the screen. So if somebody can let me know when Nancy comes back in, that would be fantastic. Just give me a comment. So how was that for you guys? Oh, she's back. Okay. The dogs didn't bark the whole time. That's great. How was that to be a part of that community? Because even though only she and I were here on the screen, we were all here together and we all got to share in that. And how did that land with you? Like, did it maybe spur some memories? Did it spur some ideas? Did you just were you just in the moment like, wow, that's great? You know, I can't even tell you how long it's been since I've spoken to Nancy. It's been a while. It's probably been at least 15 years, maybe 20. Not quite sure on that number. It's been a while. But we have kept in touch. So here we are. We're back. Good. We're going to go into our resource. So get comfortable. Close your eyes. You can be sitting. You can be lying down. And we're going to start with, this is a hum and a swallow. And this is another technique to calm your nervous system, right? So we're going to do it together. So I'll share it with you first. So the hum is like, So you hum as long as you can. And then when you're done, you swallow. So your mouth is closed the whole time. Hum and then swallow. And after you swallow, you're going to say out loud to yourself, in this moment, I am safe, right? And then we're going to do it again. So here we go, all together. Breathing in, humming, and then a swallow. In this moment, I am safe. Round 2, breathing in, humming. Swallow. In this moment, I am safe. Round 3, breathing in. Swallow. In this moment, I am safe. What do you notice? Oh, the humming is on the exhale, Debbie. Sorry about that. I couldn't see that on the screen. Yes, it does help to calm the vagus nerve. Debbie, you get 100,000 gold stars today. So it's not only, well, it is calming our nervous system via partly the vagus nerve, which comes down here. So the humming vibrates it to help it to relax, basically, and let it know that it's safe. And then it sends the signal to the amygdala. Oh, we just hummed and we just swallowed. Because you cannot swallow when you're running from a saber-toothed tiger. You are gasping for air. There is no swallowing. So when you do that process, the humming vibrates. It's a pleasant sound. And that pleasant sound also, it works in so many ways. That pleasant sound goes into the amygdala and it goes, oh, that's kind of a nice sound. Oh, that's very vibrating, kinesthetic. That's another sense going into the amygdala. And then when you say to yourself, audio digital it's like a sense, treated like a sense, that goes in and the brain hears itself and it goes, we're safe. We're actually safe. How about that? So let's do a check-in. How was that? Oh, yes, Nancy's already beat us to it, but anybody else on the line, please type in, how was that for you? What did you notice? Nancy noticed that it made her tired. That is the calming. Absolutely. Probably you'll be feeling a yawn. You're just thinking about it. I'm yawning. A yawn is another sign that you're downregulating your nervous system. You've gone from the parasympathetic into, right? I was going to mix up. You've gone from the fight-flight response where it's all activated down into your calming rest and digest states, right? Good. So we have one more thing to do today. My hum got really, really low. I'm glad you noticed that, Ellen. Yes, absolutely. Her hum got lower and probably deeper and probably stronger also. Because what happens too is the more you get that feedback, the more you can breathe. And the more you can breathe, there's more power and more force that can come through. And things are not so tight, causing a restriction on the vocal cords. So when that relaxes, your voice does get naturally deeper. I used to actually work with an opera singer in New York City and also with a jazz singer in New York City. And we did this. We also did myofascial release. But they would come to me before a performance so that they could get their whole voice in. It was pretty cool. All right. Debbie says a 3-time repeat of inhale, long hum. Oop. Okay, she's just repeating what to do. Great. Humming. I like humming with you. Much increased sense of vibration. So humming in community. Yes, absolutely. I call it a sing-along. Why do you think you feel so great when you go to those yoga classes or other places where you're singing? There's not that many opportunities these days, but like kirtans in yoga, or just at the end of a yoga class or sometime you're doing the om. I'm like reverberating on myself. Things are moving so well. You feel great. That's part of it. You're calming your nervous system. Plus, you're in community. So everybody's calming together. Did you know that the American Indians, when they would get together, well, for many occasions, but we'll use this one example, when they would get together to resolve conflict, the first thing they would do is they would sit and just breathe together until everybody's breath got similar. Isn't that interesting? They may have hummed. I don't know. I never heard that. But I know that they breathe together. And if you get in a room with like-minded people and you just effectively meditate, that's what you're doing, you will all start to breathe together. The inhales will coordinate and the exhales will coordinate. It's just going to happen. Okay. Oh, Debbie's going, no, Olympia. This is a hum-along, much less painful if you are sharing with your tone-deaf buddies. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so that was the first part. We're going to do one more thing together. Here we go. So sitting down, relaxing. We're going to do a little guided imagery. Actually, it's what I call visceral visualization, so much more than guided imagery. So imagine you're in a group of the most loving, supportive people who want the best for you. And this can be a group that you have seen before, that you've modeled. Maybe it's a group you're in. Maybe it's a group you wish you were in. Maybe it's a group you've never even heard of or seen, but it's your dream of a group. It can be anything, but make it the best possible group with all the right people, with all the right interactions and connections and relationships, and that deep sense of safety. And I want you to take your left hand and put it over your heart, and your right hand and put it on your belly. And just let them rest there. Good. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And a nice deep breath out through the nose, nice and soft, just letting the air flow out, super gentle. We're going to do that 2 more times, breathing in. And breathing out. And the next round, when you breathe out, I want you to breathe out with a sound, a sigh of relief. Breathing in and breathing out. I'm going to do one more. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. So imagine you're in this group. This is the most perfect group for you. All the right people, all your perfect people are there. Everybody gets along. There's a nice balance and harmony between the group of giving, receiving, sharing, supporting, celebrations. Everybody is a valuable contributing member to the group. Everyone is playing their part so that the other people can play their part. We can all be our very best right here, right now. Yeah. Right. And you just imagine you're in the group. What's happening? What is feeding your soul? Maybe it's a conversation. Maybe it's a connection. Maybe it's just sitting there and breathing. Whatever it is, what is feeding your soul? And with your eyes closed, I want you to look around your space where you are, wherever you are in the group. You could be anywhere. You could be up in the clouds. You could be at a spa. You could be at the ocean. It could be wherever you want it to be, your favorite destination. Just look around and take in all there is to take in. What is the feeling? What do you notice? What do you notice about you? What do you notice about the other people in the group? Yeah. Good. Good. So now check in with your body from head to toe. Do a check-in and just notice what's different now. And then check in with your mind. What's different now? And check in with your body. Heart. What's different now? Wonderful. Great. Well, let's come back to now. You can take your hands and put them in your lap. And just notice. How are you? Let's do a check-in, putting in the comments. What's different now? How do you feel? What did you notice? How was the exercise for you? And we're doing it in community, which makes it even more supercharged, right? Yeah. Oh, Ellen's group is a bottlenose pod of the most smartest, nicest dolphins. I love that. I'm a dolphin lover too. And Debbie says, you have been feeding my soul. Thank you. Oh, it's my pleasure. You're feeding my soul too. So that's what we have today. Does anybody have any more comments? Oh, here comes some. Ellen says, very peaceful and warm and nice. I love it. Nice and fuzzy. That's where you want to be. This state, assuming that you're in this nice relaxation state, the warm and fuzzy feeling, this is your natural state. this is where you can be the majority of the time throughout your life, right? This is the goal that we want to get back to. Has anybody read the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz? I read it so many years ago. I've read all of his books. But he talks about how we come into this life and we are basically unconditioned. We are our soul. We are ourself, our authentic self. Then we have this conditioning that gets put onto us by our communities, basically, even family being included as a community. So we get all this conditioning piled up. And our goal in this lifetime is to strip it away. So we get back to being ourself. And that's how I think of it. We want to get back to ourself, which he doesn't say it because he's using ancient Indian Toltec teachings. And they probably didn't know the words about the nervous system. They didn't have the science back then, but they certainly knew the effects. So in today's modern science terms, we're downregulating our nervous system. We're getting back to who we really are. So, yes, thank you, Ellen. For the 4 agreements: honor your word, do your best, take nothing personally, and I can't remember the last one. Let's see. Your best. Always do your best. I can't remember the other one right now either, but I'm sure we're going to look it up. So thank you for being here. I am going to have a look here to see what we're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow's our last day together here in this series, by the way. So let's see. We have, make money now. Stop paying the high price for being poor. It's going to be a barn burner. So I hope you can make it. It's going to be awesome. Those of you who want to be on camera with me, let me know, because I can have more than one person on camera. It could be really, really cool for us. And with that being said, we're going to sign off. Thank you all for being here. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.